show. Fan show.
And welcome to the final episode of round one of our comic book movie madness, where we're trying to determine the best comic book movie out there to date. Now today I have the Punisher's bodyguard Jeff Hornacek and Alfred's butler Matthew Geiger alongside me, and I am your host Brian Banner. Guys, we're just about at the end of round one. We got 4 slots open that we're gonna find out what the fans decided. But what do we think so far? We got any matchups that we want to talk about and something we might be a little surprised about?
I got one that I'll lead off with.
Go ahead.
So we had the fans decide a lot of the more interesting matchups in the first round. Always a good idea. This isn't North Korea. You get to fucking vote. And the Thor vs. Hellboy matchup was one that I was really interested not only to see who you guys would vote on, but the comments specifically. And Hellboy moved on in a nail-biter, but I think almost more importantly than that, it was nice to see why people like Hellboy. A lot of people either liked how kind of obscure the comic was being from Dark Horse, or they just didn't know the property and actually enjoyed it more. So that was cool to me to just kind of see the fan reaction and the way that they voted Hellboy on in the second round.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I'll pick another fan vote. Spider-Man 2 versus the original Blade. Blade moving on 73 to 59. I don't have to rewatch Blade. I remember it by heart. It was a very great movie, kind of along with the standalone Batman film that Michael Keaton did that went along with Batman Returns and all that stuff. But Spider-Man 2, went and rewatched this the other day. This is a very, very great comic book movie. I don't think as good as the original, but the original I thought should have got a number 1 seed in this tournament. The Spider-Man 2 also with best scene when he's on the train and then the people kind of figure out that, you know, he's just a kid and stuff, really pulled on my heartstrings. Sad to see that Spider-Man 2 is not in this tournament anymore, but congratulations to Blade and thank you all for voting.
Yep, and again, guys, Geiger couldn't have said it better. We are doing this pod for you guys. We are your voice, or we try to be. And all of your comments, none of them go unread. We love them. No tweet goes unliked or unretweeted or anything like that. So keep them all coming. We got lots more, even more interesting matchups coming up in the second round. But before we get there, guys, we got 4 more slots left. 4 more teams are moving on.
They're going to punch their ticket.
They're going to punch their ticket to that second round. The round of 32. Most teams dream of getting here. First one, we've got The Incredible Hulk, the 2008 MCU classic, going up against the Sean Connery-led League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. First fan comment we have is from Barry Ruth. Barry says,
that wimpy
League of
deer?
Extraordinary Gentlemen, I agree with you about the concept and a fun movie to watch. So it is a very interesting concept, which I thought was a good comment. And it was fun to watch. But does it beat? There's obviously a vote for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, guys. What do we think?
It's a fun movie to watch. I'll give it that. I hate that being the DC voice of this show very proudly. I hate that some, not all, Marvel fans shit on the Incredible Hulk. It was a very well casted, very great movie to watch. It still fits in the Marvel universe. I know they brought back Ross. Jeff was talking about they're going to bring back Steven Tyler's daughter, which is awesome. She was really hot in Armageddon. And just because Edward Norton doesn't play him anymore, they're still doing the same Bruce Banner that they did. I love The Incredible Hulk. I thought it was fucking a great movie.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is interesting because it kind of took this, especially on the big screen, this concept of let's take a group of misfits with special abilities and put them together in a team. And lest we forget, it was Sean Connery's last film ever, so that's a pretty big effect on pop culture. And in terms of cast, Geiger always brings this up. You have to evaluate these at the time they came out. Shane West, teen heartthrob, was coming off of A Walk to Remember. Off A Walk to Remember with Mandy Moore. I mean, that dude was fucking lightning in a bottle at the time. So good cast for them.
And I like that you brought up, they kind of brought these misfits together, because that leads us into our next fan comment. Andrea D. Angelis, and I apologize because I know I butchered that. There's no way I got that right. But Andrea said, League, it was one of the first quote-unquote crossovers I've ever seen and enjoyed it a lot. And I think that's another really good point for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Everybody goes into how the Avengers was this big crossover movie, and you have Justice League coming out this summer or this winter. That's a big crossover movie. League was a crossover movie. We had a bunch of other small tales, and they brought them all together. What do you guys think about that?
I guess. It was. I don't know if it was very well done. I guess that is kind of harsh to say since it was one of the first ones, and now we see how well it can be done or how well it can be fucked up depending on whose side you're on. But once again, it was a fun movie, but there's no way it had a chance against the Incredible Hulk, in my opinion. But I'm just one vote.
I think, Banner, as you always say, I'll take the old adage and apply it to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. There's a good movie here somewhere. It's not the one that made it to theaters or your DVDs.
I agree, and I think Chris Nosd, is that how you guys would say
I think
that?
Nausid, is that what I'll say it? And Chris, we're sorry. I know this is horrendous. Look, and every substitute teacher he's probably ever had has fucked this up also.
Yeah. And my boy Scott from the last fan show knows. I've been drinking. He says, I really wanted League to be bigger. It felt too corny. Incredible Hulk, though, what a great smash 'em up. I just like the great smash 'em up pun.
And that perfectly describes the fight in Harlem at the end, which obviously at the beginning of Luke Cage's reference to Geiger's point that Marvel, although we may think that it happened, the Russos and the rest of them are trying to make sure that this movie is not forgotten about in the MCU.
It shouldn't be either. And let's not forget that we finally get, a la, a Superman with Zod, we finally get Hulk's equal adversary, which makes for fucking great fight scenes and believable that Hulk could lose. That's what was awesome about this movie to me, too.
For sure.
I agree, and I really agree with Chris, is that, like, when you go back and you watch League now, you're like, man, this had the potential of being a really good movie. Again, we talked about the cast earlier, and with that cast and with that story, it just didn't quite deliver. Whereas The Incredible Hulk, we were coming off of, in my opinion, a pretty bad Hulk movie a few years earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't like. So it was a nice.
Thing I think I'll disagree with people. I liked Eric Bana better than probably any other Bruce Banner I've ever gotten.
No, you did not like it better than Lou Ferrigno.
Well, he was Hulk, not Banner.
Bill Bixby was
okay.
Banner.
Okay. All right. I'll give that to you. I'll give that one to you. All right, and last one, Abbas Khan. They said, The Incredible Hulk. I loved Ed's performance. Still my favorite Banner to date. Fuck you, Geiger. I added that part. He didn't say that. And the way they portrayed his constant fight with anxiety throughout the film was spot on. Loved the ending fight scene to the core. I found League highly unwatchable.
That's the most constructive criticism to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I found your film highly unwatchable. So thank you, Abbas, for that. I agree with everything he said there, too. Except League is kind of fun to sit through, but again, not a rewatchability factor for me.
It's not one I'm going to watch more than once a year, though. I swear. If it's on FX one night and there's nothing else on and I'm too lazy to pop in a DVD or get my Netflix queued up, I'll probably watch it. But Incredible Hulk, once again, man, I will watch that whenever it's on TV.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I think it's very underrated.
Yeah, I love The Incredible Hulk, and I agree with most of our fans. Guys going out there fighting for League Extraordinary Gentlemen, we appreciate it. But we have The Incredible Hulk moving on 95 to 27.
By the way, great voting on that, guys.
guys.
Great participation there.
Yeah, a lot of votes.
Yeah, that was a good one. I thought that one was going to be a little closer. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not disappointed by any means, but I thought that League was going to get a little bit more love. But a lot of the comments were, it was a good idea, they just didn't execute.
Yeah.
Talk about one that's getting love. I'll just segue that for you.
Yeah, that was a great segue. Next, we have The Dark Knight Rises. I'm going to emphasize that again. We have The Dark Knight Rises versus Constantine. That's the third one, not the second one. This is not the one with Heath Ledger in it. Lot of confusion there. I don't know if... Well, I know that some of our fans had been drinking when they went and voted on this.
Which we encourage, by the way.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. David Ratkamp, I appreciate your comments. This is his comment. He said, "The Dark Knight Rises. I only say that because it started a war amongst Joker fans. Who was better Joker, Jack or Heath? Personally, I think Caesar, Jack, and Heath are all equally great for each of their time periods. Leto's Joker just plain sucks testicles." Now, I called David out here on this one. I was very intrigued on how he came to that conclusion on account of the Joker's not in this movie, guys. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
He was dead.
But David's a friend of the pod. David's a friend of the pod, so we have this back and forth with him. We can rib him a little bit for it.
And we confirmed when David voted on this and left that comment, he was moderately to highly intoxicated, which fits in perfect. We love you for it. And that was perfect.
Banner, we could have put the Batman Lego movie up against Constantine. It still would have won. So it wouldn't. This doesn't.
It really doesn't matter.
Next round, just read more carefully.
I could have put up the home video of me in my fucking Batman Halloween costume, jumping around my living room, but would have had a shot at Constantine.
Yeah. The problem is that video, you're not wearing any pants, so it's just you running around naked in a Batman mask.
You of all people, do not have the grounds to criticize someone for being half naked
while doing work.
What are you talking about? Most of the time have underwear on when we're doing this pod.
All right, Banner, what was the score of Dark Knight Rises versus Constantine?
Dark Knight Rises versus Constantine was 31-3.
Our lowest fan turnout, which is fine.
David, thank you for your comment. Because I'm a bigger person, I'm going to let that Leto comment slide, and we'll talk about it maybe next round.
All right.
Go to the next round.
Actually, Geiger, I'm pretty sure we won't talk about that next round because Suicide Squad did not move on.
Well, there's going to be questions brought up because The Dark Knight is in this tournament, so that question will be brought up again for sure. It might play the original Batman, too.
Maybe.
Wow.
All right, next one. In the same Dark Knight trilogy, we have what started it all, Batman Begins, going up against Sin City 2. And my boy Scott, I had to get him back on here because I totally fucked up his comment last time. I'm going to let Geiger read this one because there's no way I'm going to get it right again. So, okay. Scott, we appreciate your comment. Geiger, go.
Scott Crowell, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Batman Begins, no contest. Nolan reinvented Batman for movie audiences and put the Shoemaker movies, you misspelled his name, but that's fine.
Which he deserves.
Sucks. Movies in the ground. The acting is fantastic, and Michael Caine is an amazing choice for Alfred. Sin City 2 was a decade too late. Also, adding that in there, probably a couple actors too late, too.
Hi-oh.
At times, it gets confusing. Is it a prequel or a sequel? It's just not up to par with the original Sin City. I agree with everything Scott said there. Michael Caine is a fantastic Alfred. Once again, you can have that debate with the new Alfred, too, with Irons. But Sin City 2, man, I agree with him that it's a decade too late. They should have done this very quick when people were on this. And, man, they had such an awesome cast. And if you haven't heard I can't remember what part that was. I think it was part 6. If you haven't heard the Sin City comments we did a live scoring on that and talked about their casting in depth. Go check that out.
It just barely squeaked by against the Wolverine.
Yep.
Yeah, but this was one that I was interested to see because I know the first Sin City has such a cult following, and the second obviously did not do that well in theaters, but I was really interested to see if people still appreciated it as much. And as you'll see here...
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is also your favorite actor.
Yeah, not.
He sucks.
He's the worst.
Banner, can I read the next one? Not to steal your fire, because Scott was very intelligent. It almost sounded like a movie critic. Brett Ryan takes another approach. Sin City 2 was trash. Which is awesome.
Again, I always love these quotes, and I picture them being on the back of the Blu-ray. You know how they get a writer?
Yeah. That's what's great about comments is somebody will actually do a paragraph comment that makes a lot of great points, and someone else will be like, "Fuck you, it sucks." And I'm like, okay, well,
and they're both right.
Let's go into halftime, regroup, and go out here and try to do better, I guess. But thank you, Brett, for your comment. That's hilarious.
That's what's great about this pod, guys, is that we have you guys from all over the place. You guys come in here and give this a lot of thought, and then there's other guys who they're like, there's no thought needed here. It just fucking blew
Just be passionate. I love it. Just fucking run through a brick wall.
It's so raw. It's great. And we love you all for it. Keep it coming. We got one last comment here for Batman Begins versus Sin City 2. Joel Spears says, Batman Begins is one of my all-time top 10. This isn't even close. I don't know that Batman Begins necessarily breaks my top 10 of movies, maybe superhero movies, but it is a super, super solid movie.
Yeah.
And it definitely started probably the best trilogy ever.
I think it's definitely it's definitely in my top 10 superhero movies. Its effect on pop culture, it saved my favorite character growing up in terms of movies. And I'll be honest, I didn't think that you could do with Batman what Nolan did with it, and I'm so grateful he has, because every iteration we'll ever see of this character again, live action and animated, is going to try and emulate something that he did in one way or another.
Jewel, thank you for the comment. And this comment, what Banner just said, I think should parlay into another podcast, because Banner said best trilogy ever. And I'd love to get drunk with you guys and talk about, is the Nolan trilogy better than the Star Wars trilogy? That would be
I said it was one of the best. I didn't say it was the best, but that is a fantastic topic.
I'm just saying that'd be a very good conversation to have.
Yes.
Sometime in the near future. But yeah, I agree. Batman Begins, very, very well casted. And another thing people don't understand is none of those people besides probably Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine were really big at the time. People forget about Christian Bale. All he had was American Psycho. He wasn't that big of an actor until he did that. Cillian Murphy was another one. There's a lot of people that kind of made their acting cut their teeth on that movie and then became huge. So
100%. Couldn't have said it better. Guys, I don't think we're surprised here at all. Batman Begins, moving on over Sin City 2, 82-10.
Wow. Another great turnout, and that is an ass whooping.
That is the definition of a ass whooping.
Shit right there.
Yeah. All right, guys. This is a really, really tough matchup for me. Going into our last matchup of the first round in the tournament. And it couldn't have been a better one. This is a pretty good... I don't know. All right, we're just going to go into it. Batman Forever versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze.
Fans came out to play for this one. Thank you guys so much.
This one, things got dirty, all right, and I couldn't appreciate it more. Joshua Brown's going to start us off, all right? Joshua says, of the two, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 is hands down the better movie. Batman Forever is a cautionary tale of why too many villains with their own story arcs in one movie is always a bad thing.
Joshua Brown, great comment.
I can disagree with this. I think this was I thought the villains in here kind of worked together, and I thought it made sense. Now, obviously, it's not my favorite Batman movie, because anyone that's ever listened to this podcast for 2 seconds knows I'm a very big fan of dark shit. But as a kid, man, Batman Forever was a must on VHS. Every kid had that VHS. It was a very good movie. I think TMNT Secret of the Ooze, as an adult now, I'd probably vote for that one, especially of all of our grading criteria. But I thought it worked. Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, it worked for me. Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones is acting in a different movie. I don't even know what he's doing in that. And
what do you have against him? I didn't think he was that bad, but you always shit on him.
Then you haven't. Go rewatch that movie. Trust me. Also, his whole origin story just being shown in a news clip, having acid thrown on his face, that's pretty weak.
I know, that sucks.
But yeah. I will say this, 8 or 9-year-old me still has dreams about Dr. Chase Meridian in her little lingerie, so...
Oh, God. And the fact that Harvey Dent was black like a movie ago, does that have anything to... He was Billy D. Williams, and now he's Tommy Lee Jones?
No, that's fine. People change ethnicities all the time.
It's not canon. He just had a tan in the first movie.
Is Dr. Chase Meridian the hottest Batman whore of all time? Like, hottest Batman chick?
I think so.
That's another really good conversation.
That's our next tournament.
Sex puns in it too. Like, there's so many sex puns in this.
After the comic movie Madness tournament, we'll do a bracket of chicks Batman has slept with, and we'll put them all together and see. It'll be the most.
Chase Meridian.
But that's gonna be a 128 team tournament because he slept with so many bitches.
Yeah.
She fucked Bruce Wayne in one scene, then talked about Batman afterwards when they're in the bed. Like, it was like, Jesus Christ, he's
like, I'm still here.
She was ready to rumble.
All right, guys, I'm gonna reel this back in here. We're gonna go to Mark Mordaunt.
Yep.
Mordaunt.
Great fucking name.
Pretty sure that you are a character on Game of Thrones. But Mark says Ninja Turtles 2,
Combat Cold Cuts.
Combat Cold Cuts.
And the line that Michelangelo says is, "And next time I'll use mustard." I can quote this whole fucking movie.
Yeah, Mark, first off, I apologize. Again, I've been drinking. You're in the Hall of Fame because I fucked your comment up. You can't argue with the comedy in TMNT 2.
Michelangelo kills it, dude. He's so funny.
He's so fucking funny.
I'm going to watch the DVD after we get off here because I haven't watched it in a while. Obviously, I didn't have to because we left this up to our fans. But the last thing I remember of it, I mean, I'm a big fan of the first one, and it's moving on the second round. But the second one's really close, man. The second one's a lot more poppier, but it's a fun movie to watch. Both of these are fun movies to watch, really. Just they don't take themselves too seriously, but they're not Batman and Robin either.
Right.
They're both really good movies to watch.
They know exactly what they're doing. They have a story to tell, and they tell it very well.
Yeah.
Next one. This is another really good comment. Dave Martin says, "Vanilla Ice greater than Seal." There, I said it.
Dave Martin is in the Hall of Fame for that fucking comment.
That's one of the greatest quotes
can't
I've ever
argue with it.
Dave Martin, you and I need to get matching Go Ninja Go tattoos.
Well, talk about being in a different movie. That Seal music video, if you don't remember Kissed by a Rose, go YouTube it, because it makes no goddamn sense. Like, Batman's saving Gotham, and Seal's just, like, talking about being kissed by a rose. I was like, this makes no sense to the movie at all.
Kiss from the rising. I don't know the lyrics, except, yeah.
Another superhero connection is, didn't he used to be married to Rebecca Romaine?
Heidi Klum.
Or is that a different chick?
John
Heidi
Stamos
Klum.
was
Hey,
married
never
to.
mind. She wasn't Mystique. Sorry.
Close.
Next question.
Next comment, which goes right along with this. Vincent Mercada?
Yep, I think so.
Mercada?
Mercada.
Something like that. Again, we apologize for butchering your names. But his quote is, quote, "TMNT 2, always and forever. No matter what happened, go Ninja, go Ninja, go."
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go!
A rat and 4 turtle emojis after that.
That's fucking awesome.
I mean,
And
Vincent, be cooler. You fucking can't.
Congrats to you. I bet he's probably just getting ass right now as we speak.
yeah, he doesn't have time to.
Hopefully listening to our podcast in the background to set the mood.
Again, you can't argue. Like, that is so pop culture vote right there. It's not even funny. You got Vanilla Ice doing a music video in the middle of the fucking show, and it's perfect.
That happens in real life, okay? And he improvises the song.
All the comments are Secret of the Ooze right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comments for Secret of the Ooze.
Which is very good. We've got one here, Joseph Reber. Batman Forever is one of those movies where the story is mildly interesting yet incredibly cheesy, just like the actors. It wasn't Oscar-worthy material, but it was enjoyable. Plus, Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey were pretty good as Two-Face and the Riddler. So got a little love for the casting in Batman Forever. And we touched on that a little bit earlier, guys. I mean, again, it was a great cast.
I'll throw in another name. Chris O'Donnell did a fantastic job, I feel. He sucked in Batman and Robin, but in this, for the movie, for the time, it wasn't serious. I mean, you're not going to get a BVS or The Dark Knight Rises or anything. For the time, the thing they were going with, I thought Chris O'Donnell was fantastic casting. I loved him as Dick Grayson.
And Jim Carrey, who, like, no one at the time in the 90s was hotter than him when he got cast here.
Yeah.
I think he especially played the transformation of Edward Nygma into the Riddler very well. So that part was pretty cool to see.
And guys,
let's just not talk about Val Kilmer. So
no, it's fine. It's fine. All right, guys. This one, we got a lot of love for Secret of the Ooze. I would say 85% of the comments were all in favor for Secret of the Ooze. Guys, come out, battle for your movie. Unfortunately, the votes did not back the comments. Batman Forever is moving on 48 to 29.
But TMNT is still in the tournament.
TMNT 1 is still in the tournament. So all you TMNT 2 fans, let's go out and support your boys.
Get out to the polls, guys.
Get out there. All right, guys. As always, thank you so much for all your comments and the love. Keep them coming. As we said before, no comment goes unread. No tweet goes untweeted or looked at. I don't know how that works. Twittished.
Twittished. That's the correct term.
Twittished. That's what we just did. Guys, keep voting for your movies in the later rounds. Things are only going to get more interesting. Let your voice be heard. Guys, you got anything last to comment to our fans?
Stoked, ready for round 2.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys, and we're going to put more of the weight on your shoulders as the tournament gets closer to the end, so get ready.
It's only going to get better and harder to vote on these movies. I mean, round 1, there was some close, but there are some really far away, as we saw. But as the rounds get closer, I mean, Sweet 16, Elite 8, it's going to be really hard to determine which one of these movies are better, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, we might start a world war with this. All right, guys. As always, you guys know you can find the bracket at our website, www.broforcesquad.com. Like us on Facebook, Bro4Squad. Remember, that's 3 words. Follow us on Twitter at Bro4Squad. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube. And please, leave us a review. Let us know what you guys think. Remember, we're here for you. We do this pod for you. Let us know how much you like us or don't like us. And again, guys, remember, always show us, don't tell us. Till next time, cowabunga, dudes.